What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a little bit of an update video referring to some of the players around the league that the Chicago Bulls have been interested in, and more specifically, we'll be talking about Paul Millsap. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about, I guess, Paul Millsap joining the Brooklyn Nets, which is the biggest news of the, I guess, the day today for the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, we have not gotten Paul Millsap on the Chicago Bulls. It is a big missed opportunity, but let's be honest, we all knew this could have been a possibility. We were interested in the player, but Paul Millsap had a bunch of other teams that were also interested in him. And the reality is, we did not win that race for Paul Millsap. The Brooklyn Nets won that race for Paul Millsap. So first things first, congratulations to Brooklyn Nets fans. He's definitely going to help your team. As usual, the Brooklyn Nets are a really good team. They're a contending team, to say the least. And they added addition. They got a player that will pretty much help them even further to try and compete for that championship, which I'm sure is their goal, as is probably the Chicago Bulls. What we want to do as well, we want to make the playoffs, we want to compete with teams like the Brooklyn Nets, and they just got a little bit stronger today. So what does this mean for the Chicago Bulls? We need to look elsewhere if we are desperately trying to get that power forward or center on this team. We need to look at other options, potential options that may be a little bit worse than Paul Millsap, but hopefully over time could become better than Paul Millsap. So the options I have talked about already is DeMarcus Cousins, and I have talked about Jared Vanderbilt in the last video, and two players I would really welcome to the Chicago Bulls. Two completely different players, two positions to say the least, and definitely something that we should consider. But I do see the Chicago Bulls looking for a power forward, which means DeMarcus Cousins, in my opinion, doesn't suit that unless we go for unless he's going to play center. So Jared Vanderbilt, in my opinion, is probably the main guy the Chicago Bulls should go after, which once again is no guarantee we can get. Outside of that, there are not many options left for the Chicago Bulls to pursue in free agency. There has been ongoing talks about James Ennis. As much as I like Ennis's ability to shoot the ball, he's played a lot of, I guess he's playing in a lot of positions that we already have. So it's going to be very difficult to acquire him and maybe put him at the power forward position, because regardless, we're still playing small ball. We need to add some size into that team, and the reality is that James Ennis doesn't do that for us. So I don't see that being a viable option for the Chicago Bulls. I really think Jared Vanderbilt is the one to go with now, or DeMarcus Cousins, but I just don't feel DeMarcus Cousins is a power forward. I would welcome him on this team. I'm a big fan of him, but I just feel like he's not going to be the guy to play the power forward position for the Chicago Bulls. And we do already have a center in place that can play that center position in Tony Bradley. I don't know. I would welcome DeMarcus Cousins, but I don't feel that's the solution to the team. I think Jared Vanderbilt at 6'9" is the solution to our team at the power forward position. I really think that's the player now we should go for. I'm sure there are more options out there. Feel free to let me know in the comments below if there are any more out there. I will be making more videos. I will make a video about James Ennis at a later time, not today to say the least. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating to know that we were so interested in a player that I thought would have been perfect for us, and he didn't end up coming to the Chicago Bulls. That part really sucks. But the reality is, this is the NBA. There's no guarantee a player comes to this team. As good as he was going to be on this Chicago Bulls team, I have no questions about it. He decided to go a different avenue in the Brooklyn Nets, and I hope he does well. That's all I can say. Hopefully he does well with the Brooklyn Nets. Hopefully Brooklyn Nets do well. When it comes to the Chicago Bulls, this is the next part. There was an article about top 5 left free agents, and 2 of them were former Chicago Bulls players in Denzel Valentine and Ryan Arcidiacono. Apparently those are the next best, outside of a few other players. Of course, it's top 5, and we just mentioned 2. They are part of the top 5 top free agents left in free agency, and we got rid of both of those players. So I don't really know what's left in free agency for the Chicago Bulls. I don't know if we're going to be pushing to go after a player. I don't know if we're going to be sticking with what we have. I don't know if we're going to be going for players in the Summer League maybe. I don't know if it's just Marco and Tony Bradley as the 2 options. And we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be something that we'll roll with down the line or not. Another player that could potentially be interesting, keep your eyes out on Thaddeus Young. I know it's probably a very unlikely situation, but Thaddeus Young could potentially be on a buyout from the Spurs, and the Suns are very interested. Maybe the Chicago Bulls can try and go back in for Thaddeus Young. But the reality is, it seems like there's not much left for the Chicago Bulls. Of course, we can do stuff. As usual, we can always do things in free agency. And I wouldn't put it past us to do a sign and trade of any sorts. But yeah, Paul Millsap was the big one here, and he's gone. DeMarcus Cousins is potentially a player we could go after. Don't think he's the power forward. Vanderbilt is probably their main guy. Restricted free agent, could potentially rejoin the Timberwolves. So yeah, we need to be very cautious, and we need to be very aware of what players are going to be doing, because we don't have much options left in that power forward position, to say the least. And that's going to be the end of this video. Just a quick short video to discuss that situation. All the best to Paul Millsap in the Brooklyn Nets. I hope he does well, and we'll see what happens. And the Chicago Bulls move on. We push forward. We went after him. He didn't come to this team. And let's see what we could do elsewhere in free agency. And let's see what's left for the Chicago Bulls, or if we're just going to stick with what we have at the moment. We shall wait and see. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.